So let's say you're hanging out with your family or your coworker and your conversation is going great. And then someone says something that you or they don't like. Well, our first reaction is to defend ourselves, especially if it's an accusation. We might get a little pitchy, we might say something not so nice, get sarcastic, or just walk away. There goes the conversation, right? And so often we walk away from each other because we don't want it to get ugly. But then we don't get to express how we feel. What a hindrance that is to a healthy relationship. And then you end up apologizing, or they end up apologizing, and nobody wants to really apologize, but we want to keep the peace. And then it happens again and again. Even after the apologies are made, it's probably going to happen over and over. I call that the psycho cycle, and it grows old in any relationship. It causes ill feelings towards one another. It leads to anger. It leads to disappointment, distance. And then when you've had enough, breakups, then bitterness. It's all part of the game. It sucks. There's no love, there's no peace, and there's absolutely no joy in that type of communication. So why can't we maintain the peace? It's not easy. I know. It's a skill, actually. I've been working at it for decades, and I still struggle, but not as much because I've been trying to step up to be the better person, live the golden rule, and I am receiving more love in my life. I have peace of mind because I'm always trying to do my best. My mess is my message. So, Mary Miner here. I'm on a mission to inspire people to be kind all the time, even when we don't want to be. I teach people how to have a change of heart and how to speak to others the way we like to be spoken to so that we can get the love we crave at home and the respect we deserve at work. So I wrote these two books, Step Up, Be the Better Person, Live the Golden Rule. And for the children, I wrote Dilbert the Diligent Dragon in Fantastical Fairyland. So to keep the peace in your home, workplace, or out doing errands, we must do this one thing. And you already know what this one thing is. And I really hate to say it, but we have to do it. We must think before we speak. Like I said, you already know that, but do you practice it? Do you have really healthy relationships? If you don't have healthy relationships, you might want to think before you speak. I have to do it every minute of my day because I used to just blurt out whatever came to mind, and it usually wasn't that nice. And when you do think before you speak, oh gosh, you're gonna love yourself more because you're gonna find that there's more love around you, and then people are gonna appreciate you more because when you consistently think before you speak, you're most likely not going to hurt others. We don't want to hurt others, especially the ones we love. Why in the world would we say something mean to someone we love? We don't like it. The GR, the golden rule. We also need to understand that it's not only what we say, but it is also how we say it. Yeah, it's both, actually. It really is. And it takes practice because we want to say what's ever on our mind. And people think that that's a healthy way to have a relationship. Well, just ask yourself, how is that working for you? Okay, and I know. So I know this because I've been experimenting with people, with my family, with my friends. I'm not perfect in any sort of way. No, just ask my husband. I wish. But I want you to know that there's so many ways to express yourself. There's so many different words. There's so many different tones. You can say everything in a nice way and get your point across. We don't have to blurt out the first thing that comes out of our mouth, especially if they're mean, condescending words. You don't have to say whatever's on your mind in that moment, because too often it doesn't help build the relationship. It breaks it down. There is truth to this. You don't want to hurt anybody, because when you hurt people, you hurt yourself. I want you to know, just because they hurt you doesn't mean you have to hurt them. So try to keep the peace so that you can have more peace, but you must work at it. So remember, please think before you speak, and I will do the same. Thanks for listening.